When I was 5 years old, my mother told me, happiness is the key to life. Then I went to school, and my teachers told me what I want to be when I grow old. I said, happy. They said I didn't understand the assignment. I told them they didn't understand life. This is not my quote, it's by the legendary John Lennon, who wrote that amazing song called Imagine, the DNA of which was all about happiness. Violent loneliness. Powerful stuff. Violent loneliness, the antithesis of happiness. Is it stress? Is it peer pressure? Is it the economic reality? Is it in our hands to promulgate it, or there is somebody else who's going to be the change agent? 3 discussion threads. Number 1, what is happiness? Is there at all a standard absolute definition? Or A, it's subjective, B, it is time-based, and 3, it is transient and relative. Is it transient, relative, or is there a standard model? The second discussion thread to happiness would be, is happiness a function and a derivative of diversity? Diversity by way of age. Does a happiness for a 20-year-old mean the same thing, happiness for a 50-year-old? And you have that spread in organizations today, especially in BPOs and KPOs, youngsters versus really senior people. So how is the HR guy or the CEO going to pitch the happiness factor when the data is so dispersed? It's a scatter diagram in terms of age, expectations, your DNA, your stereotypes, and relativity of the entire happiness concept. So let's pick up. We have got a fantastic panel. Let me start with Ned. So Ned, what's going on? What's going on? I mean, in today's corporate world, there is race for excellence, there is competitive market pressure, yet you have an organization and a person like your CEO who quite sort of emanates a calmness about him. Do you want to throw some light upon what's going on?
So there are 2 things, you brought up a very valid point. Happiness, and a lot of times another word that keeps coming up a lot is employee satisfaction. How different are these 2? Satisfaction, extremely measurable. You can do all kind of surveys, performance, and you can get all kind of results from there.
Right.
Happiness, to me, state of mind.
Okay.
Each person can have a different level. I mean, you're playing basically with schematics and words when you come to satisfaction and happiness.
Right.
You could be happy just with your work.
Right.
Mr. Bakshi here, family brings him happiness.
Right.
So each person has a different level of happiness.
Right.
So my question to a company would be, do you want a happy workforce or do you want a satisfied workforce? Yeah, on paper I would love to have everybody completely happy, but it's impossible.
Right.
And that's where I say, as a company, I don't think we should be striving to make sure that every person is happy.
Right.
It's impossible. And a very important thing for me here is, and this is something that I learned from my boss, who learned from his boss, who's Warren, is do the right thing.
Okay.
You do that right thing, automatically you're already treading on the path of happiness.
Right. Let me shift focus to KS, who works in a hospitality industry. You work in industry, you got to manifest happiness. People come in for happiness when they come and stay with you. What's your take on that?
Sure. To my mind, Pramod, I think happiness and satisfaction go hand to hand.
Okay.
I think it comes from many factors. I mean, it's a result of many things. It's not 1, 2, 3 things that will keep employees happy or satisfied or engaged, and all these terms are interchangeable.
Right.
I think it drives or it comes from the culture that we are driving.
Culture. Okay.
It's that leadership walk the talk.
Okay.
It's that day in, day out, that relationship that we are experiencing with our managers and our leaders.
Right.
It is this passion that I owe it to my guests or my customers that makes a lot of difference. And what is that support system organization has, which is helping me to deliver that.
Okay.
Right? It's simply, if you take an example from the home, during the weekend or otherwise, what is that keeps you happy? Is it sleeping, which makes me happy?
Right.
Is it going for shopping, movie, or a vacation, short vacation, or international vacation?
Right.
I think it changes, but it's part from the DNA.
So DNA and transiency is what Case is saying. Saurabh, you work for Snapdeal. What's the big deal here? What's the deal here, Saurabh? What's your take?
We at Snapdeal as a leadership team believe in one particular thing, and possibly I can translate that into happiness. Are our people, when they are coming to office in the morning, do they look forward to coming to office or not? Right? And I think it's a very simple thing, but then what can we do to enable that people are looking forward to coming to work and doing what they're doing? And that's where, that is the driving philosophy which drives, whether it's the processes or the systems.
Okay.
Because we firmly believe that, if the person is not 100% there at work,
right,
he's not going to be productive.
Right.
And I can translate that and say that, is person happy doing what he's doing?
Right.
And how do you make that happen? Now, there are multiple facets to it, as Mr. Case has well said.
Right.
But I think one basic or a couple of basic tenets over there is, one is, are we providing meaningful work to our people or not? Right. There's so much to do, but then are we carving out meaningful pieces which we are giving out to people? Are they defined, and does that add value to them in terms of what they're doing? I think that is a basic tenet which any organization has to possibly look at.
Right.
And add to that is there a culture of respect in the organization? Right.
Right.
All said and done, it's a sum of all the parts together which makes up for that 10x growth.
Right. Right.
Are we recognizing and respecting that even a coder versus a head of the department?
All right.
It's all put together. If they don't move together and we are not respecting every single part,
right,
I don't think we are creating a culture of happiness in the organization.
So Ravi, he's talking about an amazing blend between systemic interventions and behavioral canvas or an ecosystem, if you will, in terms of how are organizations coping with this? Because on one hand, you have a target and a metrics-driven thing, everything should fall in line. At the same time, it's a catch-22. You cannot achieve that if you do not have an invigorated, awesomely motivated people.
The companies that we have worked in are companies where we have been allowed to be ourselves, right? And that's why this whole focus around diversity and inclusion that you see all the time,
right,
why is it there?
Right.
An inclusive environment is an environment where everybody can be themselves. The second key aspect to happiness is around having significance. Every employee wants to be significant in the organization or the group of people that he's part of. Significance is normally something which allows you to attempt or achieve a higher order goal.
Right.
So sometime back we just discussed about why people in NGOs at far lower compensation
right,
are happier, right? It's actually, if you work with an NGO and meet employees there, it's surprising to see that people who get 1/10 of the salary that people in corporates get are far happier, right?
Okay.
Or look at academics. I think there are some professors here. They work
Sure.
at far lower salaries than what their students are likely to get
That's
within
correct.
1 year of passing out.
Right.
Yet they do their jobs with great passion and great
Right.
interest, right?
Right.
So being yourself and higher order goals are the two
Those
important,
two things.
right? So what can an organization do to create an environment where we are inclusive, sensitive,
okay,
allow for people's differences to come into play?
right,
That is critical.
okay,
And that's culture building. So that comes from, like he
Right.
talked about, the role modeling of the senior leader. You
Right.
can't create a culture if the top guy is, or the top 10, 15 people are useless people,
Got
or
not
displaying
really
a
enriched.
certain kind of
Right.
behavior.
Right.
You will not have an inclusive culture, right?
Right.
So the accountability of creating that ambience and that culture
Right.
is
Is
very
important.
high at the top.
Right.
And in fact, if you see most talent management discussions,
Right.
if you see most leadership interventions,
Right.
they're all focused around behavior.
Okay.
Right? By the time somebody reaches a certain level, he's assumed to be competent in his
Okay.
respective field.
Okay.